So this is what I wrote in my description. ULTY and SLTY. Investors are playing a dangerous game, like doubling down on a pair of deuces. It looks bold, but the odds are stacked against you. Instead of building wealth, this gamble exposes the weakness of chasing hype and ignoring risk. Here's why ULTY and SLTY is nothing more than a losing hand. However, first, a message from the legal department. Why? Why? A pair of deuces. What was I thinking? Okay, so here's one of my accounts. It's my dividend fund, and you can see over the last month I'm up. And what happened about a month ago is I dumped the vast majority of my shares in YieldMax and other weekly payers and some monthly payers, and then purchased all 52 of the YieldMax funds that were available to me, but in very small amounts. So here are the stocks that I have, and I had thousands and thousands and thousands of shares of weekly paying and monthly paying, high yielding distribution stocks, funds from YieldMax and others. I bought them about 2 months ago, maybe a little bit more, and I instantly noticed that there was a problem. I read the prospectuses on the 52 funds that were available to me from YieldMax, and I realized, for me, it's a sham. So I took that money and I put it into SGov, right? And as you can see, SGov has provided me with positive returns. Now we'll go up to XMO, and you can see I only have 10 shares, but overall it's down. Biggie, overall it's down. Soxy, overall it's down. LFGY, overall down. GBTY, overall down. RDTY, overall down. Chippy, overall down. RNTY, overall down. Hui, overall down. AMZI, overall down. NVIDIA, overall down. FBY, overall down. GUI, hey, we got one that's up. Nefli, overall down. Coney, overall down. Dizio, overall down. Mofo, overall down. JPMO, overall down. AMD, overall down. PYPY, overall down. XYZY, overall down. Marnie, overall down. And be careful, because Marnie at $1.75 is in danger of a reverse split, which is highly negative. AIYY is overall down. YMAX, overall down. YMAG, overall down. Tesla, overall down. Misty, overall way down. YBIT, overall down. Crash, CRSH, overall down. Fiat, overall down. Dips, overall down. Winter, overall up. ULTY, with the last distribution, I'm overall up. And these two are other ETF providers, but TSYY, I'm overall up. COII, I'm overall up. And GDXY, I'm overall way up. Now, SLTY just came out like 10 days ago or something like that. A week and a half. And in that week and a half, it's down almost 10%. It's just ridiculous. Now, if I would have kept the thousands and thousands and thousands of shares I had in ULTY, I would be overall way down. Because I think I bought them at $6.25. I was getting paid 10 cents distribution. A month went by. The price dropped to just under $6, but I collected about 40 cents. And I thought to myself, this is a losing proposition. This is not going to turn out well. So I dumped the vast majority of my shares. I kept a couple hundred just to follow it. I'm finally up. But this SLTY, which is supposed to be the inverse of ULTY, I made a video before its initial release to the public. And I said, this thing just does not look good. And it'll be in the 40s pretty soon. And in the 30s within a few months. And in the 20s, maybe 6 months or less. And you can see in the first week and a half or so, it's gone from $50 down to $45. This fund, and the vast majority of high yielding ETFs is like going to the casino, getting dealt a pair of deuces, and betting the farm. Are you out your mind? You have to be some gambling, insane person to want to invest in this. Like, let's look at, okay, SLTY Ultra Short Option Income Strategy ETF. The net asset value is $6 million. Some of you who are watching this video have more money than that, than this ETF. The expense ratio of 1.14 for this Gamblers Anonymous ETF is out of control. Look at this. Volume 2,500. Average daily volume 40,000 shares. You know how liquid that is? How hard it's going to be to get out? You can look at the bid ask. 45.39 is the bid. The ask is 45.49. That's a 10-cent spread. I would say 99% of available funds to be purchased, the spread is a penny or less. But this is ridiculous. You have to be a gambling fool to want to invest in this ETF. No NAV, right? Like, if you look at here, 4682, it says that what net asset value, and it's trading at $45.20, which is a huge discount to the NAV that they're saying. Going back to my watch list, I'm going to show you something, because you guys might think, oh, he's doesn't know what he's investing in, doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm just a retired pensioner. But if you look at all my other investments, these are Canadian stocks, everything is green. Everything is up. And even the one or two that are red have paid me more in dividends than I've lost on the share value, right? This is a health fund. I'm losing $19, but I made $72 in dividends. UMAX is another one of these fund of funds. I've lost $25 in share value, but I made $260 in dividends, right? HGR, I've lost $58 in share value, but I made $92 in dividends. So I'm up overall. And here, LMAX, another fund of funds, down $95 but up $218. That cannot be said about all these yield max funds. I bought 52.20. I dumped within the first 2 weeks because after I read their prospectus and looked at their financials, I don't know if these people at yield max have no clue what they're doing, or like my Uncle Ponzi and my Uncle Pyramid say, if you're going to go to the casino, be prepared to lose your money. Because that's what it looks like here. There's no redeeming feature. Okay, I'm a gold bug. So you can see I have 500 shares in GDXY. Because when I read the prospectus and I looked at the distributions, GDXY distributes between 30 and 50% yearly. And for me, that's good enough. I mean, that's really good enough. And it pays monthly. So its distribution can handle the NAV and grow the NAV. When you go down to ULTY, right, I have actually 320 shares, but down 55, up 77. I've held those 320 shares for 2 months, over 2 months. I don't know what to tell you because I lost money when I sold the thousands and thousands and thousands of shares on my stock value, but I had made it up on the dividend. I couldn't take a chance. Winter, down $1.71, up $6.59. That can change in a week, right? But everything else, look at red. Oh, let's see here. GUI. I'm up $1.10 and $6.94 in dividends. But then again, red, until we get to SGov, which is paying 4% to 4.5% a year. Do you understand that SGov, which is a BlackRock ETF based on short-term treasuries, is outperforming the vast majority of YieldMax high-yielding funds? Let that sink in. You're going into the casino, sitting down at the table, you're buying all these YieldMax and weekly paying ETFs from everybody, right? Because there's, I don't know how many, there's like 60, 70 weekly payers or high-yielding funds. And that little 4.5% is making more money than all the rest. Combined. Think about that. Investing should be a strategic, informed, researched, and discussed with your financial advisor and your tax accountant. If you think you can do this by yourself, you are sadly mistaken. I'm a pensioner. This is strictly for entertainment, as you saw in the disclaimer, but you have to go to what is it? Not AA, Gamblers Anonymous, whatever it's called. Because you're not an investor, you're a gambler, you're gambling in these funds, and you're going to end up broke and crying and singing the blues and joining everyone else in the lawsuit against these companies. Now, there are some that are good funds that I believe. Of all the funds, GDXY from YieldMax is their best one. Rex has Coin, COII, which I believe is pretty good. And Granite Shares has TSYY, which I believe is okay. But as you can see, it's down $126, right? And I've gained $178 in dividends. So as long as I'm up, I'm happy. I think every investor in the world, as long as they're up, they're happy. I don't mind the fluctuation in the share price, but my overall return has to be positive. And as far as I can see, there's only 3, maybe 4 funds that are positive over the last 2 to 3 months. I'm very upset about this, and I'm very upset about people on YouTube that are encouraging and hyping these funds. Let's go all the way back to SGov. In the same period of time, I've made over, I would say about $430 about in SGov. And if you look at all these, because that's a negative return, right? Down $7.90, up $2.90 in dividends, I'm down $5. Down $5. Down about $7. See, all these are down overall. All of them. I mean, the law of probability, this cannot happen. This cannot happen. Salty's there just for me to watch it go down and down and down. You double down on these pair of deuces, ULTY and SLTY, and in my opinion, you're going to end up broke and living under a bridge in a van down by the river. It's just ridiculous. Please seek financial and gambling assistance. Be careful. This is not for the faint of heart, and gambling is never for the faint of heart. Gambling is for the foolish. And now you have to decide, am I an investor or am I just a fool? Okay, see you in the next video.